it's Dave Mercer, and this is Facts of Fishing FYI, the fishing news, views, and info you can't use show. And this is what's been happening this week. Sheila Pang Ford caught a giant catfish. It was 8 feet 2 inches long, weighed 214 pounds, and made it the biggest catfish, or biggest fish in general, ever caught by a British woman. What makes this story even more amazing is Sheila is blind. Well, obviously she's blind, or she never would have posed like that with the fish. Well, would she? I don't think so. The American Sport Fishing Association reported this week that 2009 license sales are up. That's right, license sales are up 4.7%. And I know what you're thinking, 4.7%, 4.7? What does that matter? It's not a very big number. Well, the ASA quickly points out that 4.7% is a huge number, because when that number increases by just 0.1%, that represents 40,000 anglers. So an increase of 4.7% is giant. Well, speaking of an increase, some of you may have increased your bank account or decreased your bank account with this week's Super Bowl.
Touchdown!
While the Super Bowl is one of the most bet upon sporting events in the world, one event that nobody's betting on is the Bassmaster Classic. The Super Bowl of bass fishing kicks off in 2 weeks in Lay Lake, Alabama. But it seems like Las Vegas forgot all about us. Our crack team here at FYI searched all the sports books in Vegas, and we couldn't find one that was offering Bassmaster Classic odds. What does this go to tell you? Well, maybe anglers would just rather bet on a new color spinnerbait, or a new color topwater, or that new jerkbait, rather than their favorite angler. One group of anglers I bet paid a lot of attention to last year's Bassmaster Classic on the Red River is the FLW pros. Why? Because they'll be kicking off their tour season this week in the very same location that Skeet Reese won his Bassmaster Classic title. And it's almost the exact same time of year. From early reports, it's cold and the water's dirty. But I tell you, FLW has some of the best pros in the business, and I can guarantee you, they'll catch them. Well, I don't care whether you fish for bass, pike, muskie, walleye, trout, bluegill, carp, mahi-mahi, or tuna. All the fish that we love catching are in a battle as we speak, and a lot of us anglers don't even know about it. Okay, so I don't profess to be a political genius, but here it is. Basically, President Obama has appointed a special task force to assess what's going on in the fisheries. They're developing a series of recommendations about our oceans, our coasts, our Great Lakes, and even our inland tributaries, and how to manage them. Now, we all know that the fishing is better today on a lot of bodies of water than it's ever been. But we have one big advantage over this task force.
Huh?
We fish. People who don't fish, the leaders of the environmental groups that clearly seem to have the Obama administration and this task force ear. Why? Some of them are recommending up to 30 to 50% access closures permanently. That's right, you heard me right. Some of them would like to shut us down from going to the waters that you and I love to fish forever. This is to allegedly protect habitat and overfishing. The scary thing is, none of this is based on science. It's strictly an agenda. I know what you're thinking. Dave, just tell us jokes, don't get serious. But this is serious, and I'm going to tell you why. Because these guys have only been at it for 6 months. 6 months? Are you kidding me? I mean, it took me 6 months to figure out how to tie some of these fishing knots. But these guys are smart. They can develop a nationwide policy for our fisheries in that time. If you ask me, they might as well have got themselves some darts, a map, and started firing the darts out there. And wherever it lands, they could shut down that fishery. At least that way it would have been a game of chance. 140! A member of an environmental group once told me that prolonged eating of fish turns your brain to mush. To mush. That's a highly scientific word. Obviously, if you ask me, this task force proves quite the opposite. If you don't eat it, your brain gonna be mushy. Nobody cares more about the fish or the fisheries than us, the anglers. Don't let a bunch of people who don't fish threaten or take away our sport. There's 60 million of us. We're one of the strongest groups in the world if we speak up. How can we make a difference? Contact your member of Congress through keepamericafishing.org. That's right, keepamericafishing.org. Let them know how you feel and you want to keep this sport alive and strong. And as for our loyal FYI viewers that are viewing in Canada or other countries outside of America, and you think this doesn't affect you, if they can do this in America, whose door do you think they're going to be knocking on next?
Are you guys rolling? Okay, well, we may want to leave that in anyway. Okay, good day. I'm Bob McKenzie. This is my brother Doug.
How's it going, eh?